Morning time, everybody. So, Wingnut Radio out here for Anarchy Television. And I have been wanting to do something for a little while. I'm going to try a little uh, reactional video, but I'm doing everything on cell phone, so I don't really have any way of sharing kind of videos on my own. So I'm going to do something. I've got some way of maybe able to share some stuff. It's going to be a kind of redneck way of doing it, I guess if you could say it. I don't know. But I was turned on to Oliver Anthony, Richmond, north of Richmond, probably about 5 days after um, he put it out on, was it Radio WV on YouTube? And and so so technically this won't be a first time hearing type reaction because I've heard it a couple of times and I've done already looked into Oliver or Christopher. I've already looked into them and heard a few other songs and the thing is Garrett, I don't think they've got the I don't think they've got the imagination for that. So, quite honestly, in my opinion, just by my observation, um, and knowing people like him, um, this is purely organic. This is definitely, I call it the creator um, singing through him to all of us. And because honestly, like for instance, the song. Actually, put it this way. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kind of play it like a reaction. What I'm gonna do is I might have to pause it a couple of times through the song and talk about something or whatever here and there. But I'll actually play it all the way through um, after the fact. But and I also want to play a couple other things. Like there's at least one or two other songs that he has wrote that I wanted to play also, and he put out basically a um, what do you call it? I don't know. He was just basically responding to a lot of stuff that's been going on in the past 2 weeks. Because honestly, nobody, not very well, very few people even knew who he was 2 weeks ago. I mean, I'm not. I grew up with um, was it punk bands and heavy metal bands, so I don't really pay attention to country all that much. I mean, I like some country and bluegrass and stuff like that. I mean, but I haven't been paying attention to it. And let me see if I can get some of this stuff working. Power on. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected. Okay. And if you guys are interested, hang out. If you're not, kick rocks. You know, because I'm doing this because I am felt compelled to do this video. Um, so all right.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours, for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away. Drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul.
All right. So right off the bat, one of the first things that strikes a chord with almost everybody that listens to it is most people can relate to, working long hours, overtime, bullshit pay. A lot of people worldwide can relate to that, or it can resonate with them. And living in this new world with an old soul. People have told me that they think I have an old soul. I've had moments in my life where it felt like I can remember a past life. I couldn't tell you if any of that's true or not. I'm not sure. It's something I can just feel. Other people have felt. So, and I can actually relate to that also, is that that old soul trying to just get by and live in this new fucking bullshit world. Yeah.
The rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. Those are rich men, those are rich men.
All right. For all you people out there that might be listening that is not from the U.S. Okay. Richmond, Richmond, north of Richmond. All right. Richmond is actually what he's talking about. It's Richmond, Virginia. And if you go just north of Richmond, Virginia, that's Washington, D.C. So when he's talking about the rich men north of Richmond, he's talking about all those corrupt fucks up there in D.C. and all that shit. Those supposed public servants that only get $100,000 a year paycheck, but yet come out of that thing multi-billionaires. You know what I mean? Or spend their whole life, their whole goddamn, like 60 years, 50 years, 40 years, sucking off of our tit, basically, sucking off the tit of the American people. They're actually every public servant, in my opinion, is nothing but a welfare recipient that just gets fooled into working for it. But these people have figured out how to work the system to the point where they got all this insider trading and all this other shit. They become millionaires getting these jobs because they put themselves in the position where they have the the more likely to get richer and richer and richer. So I mean, and I've seen this too. Actually, for some reason, man, for the past couple of days, I've been I've been actually on like um, kind of like a manic viewer of the reaction videos of this song, for instance, and the diverse people that are touched and moved just by him, by his words, with the message, this his voice, the sound of the guitar, the setting. What's up, new guru? Um, People, I'm serious. I mean, yeah, I've seen probably a bunch of them, but you would not, you have, unless you're like out there looking at it, you wouldn't believe how many people that are listening to this song and they get goosebumps, they get chills. There's Snooks in there. Oh well, she's. I don't know if she's still in there or not, but yeah. um, there, I got this. I got one. But anyway, let's get back to this for a second.
I wish politicians look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of butt drowned. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me.
Yeah, it is a damn shame. You know, you know, I really, it would be nice because I mean, the miners, the coal miners and stuff like that. The people that, like I'm one of those people actually, that not necessarily a coal miner, but I'm one of those people that put the infrastructure in. And I'm one of those people that built this fucking country, just like the coal miners. So, they're the ones that keep the lights on in a lot of places, man, and keep heat in people's homes, because they fucking dig that shit out of the fucking ground. And people just look over that. They look over those people like they don't matter. And they're more paying attention with all this crap that's going over on fucking, you know, dude over there on that fucking island. The one that, the difference between Epstein and Christmas lights. Well, Christmas lights don't hang themselves. Anyway, whatever. But the thing is, it's like, and there is shitloads of people out there fucking hungry in the streets. Shitloads of people, shitloads of veterans that are hungry in the streets. I might be in a situation I might be fucking hungry in the street. Who knows? I mean, I'm 2 paychecks away from being fucking hungry in the fucking street. But yet we can fund a fucking war in fucking Ukraine, but we can't help people over in our own goddamn country. Oh no. You can fund a war, but you can't help the poor, as Tupac said back in the day. What's up, Pullerin? And the obese fucking, sucking up welfare. It's messed up. He talks about like if you're 5'3", 300 pounds, and taxes aren't not to fucking pay for your fucking fudge rounds. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I totally agree with that shit. I used to work at a grocery store as a stock boy. I used to put all the fucking items on the shelves and shit. All right. And I'm sitting there working 40 hours, busting my ass, making shit fucking wages. All right. And I barely got any food in my refrigerator. I had more condiments in my fucking refrigerator than I had food. So it pissed me off when I see this fat ass fucking 400-pounder fucking walking in with three kids walking behind it, and they go in there and get two big ass shopping carts or two big fucking buggies, stack them overflowing with food, and then pay every bit of that with a fucking EBT card. And I'm like, God damn. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm barely fucking surviving and I'm busting my ass. And you just, I hope that all that fucking food that you eating it fucking tastes good. Because I bought that, I bought that for them, because my fucking tax dollars paid for that bullshit. And I'm fucking starving for that shit. And I'm working. Fuck all that shit, man. Taxation, period. Taxation, period, is theft. And taxation done at the point of a government gun is fucking extortion. Period. It's like armed fucking robbery. Yeah. It pisses me off, man. That's another reason why I know damn well why so many people can relate and identify and resonate with the song and why it did what it did in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And if you haven't heard of Oliver and Anthony, anyway.
People like you wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. All it is, living in the new world with an old soul. These rich men know the Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Want to know what you think, want to know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, because your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, cause the rich men know the rich men.
That's right, taxed to no end. Because the fucking rich men up north of fucking Richmond. I mean, seriously. Fuck. I messed up. Hold on.
Lord, we got folks in the street and keep on kicking out the bank. For your bags above drowned, young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground. Cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down.
See, that's another thing too, man. All these people, including myself, we're just working our asses off, 6 feet into the ground, basically. And the ones that built this fucking country, they just keep kicking us down, kicking them down. They don't really give a shit. It seems like nobody gives a shit. Especially the ones up in D.C. They don't care. They get a paycheck no matter what fucking happens. You know what I mean? Everybody, it's like all this stuff was like, remember back a few years ago, it's just 2 weeks to flatten the curve, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we got to close businesses. And next thing you know, they were fucking, forcing people to close their businesses. I'm sorry. You just can't make a living right now because of this fucking shit that's fucking floating around. Who in the fuck do these people think they are? And the thing is, the only way they can pull this shit off is because there's people that are willing to comply and there's people that are willing to enforce this bullshit. That's the only reason why this stuff continues. Well, I mean, I know damn well I am not put on this fucking earth just to fucking pay taxes and bills and die. I'm not put on this fucking earth just to fucking pay taxes and fucking die. And I don't believe anybody out there is either. We're not put on this fucking earth just to fucking sit here and pay fucking taxes and bills and all this other bullshit and then die. And if you believe that's all you are here for, that's all the only reason why you're on this fucking planet, I don't know what to tell you.
Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the world. With an old soul. These rich men know the Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Want to know what you think, want to know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, because your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, cause the rich men know the rich men. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Yep. That's that's one of the main reasons why I think people, just that, it's the way he writes his lyrics. Where he begins is where he ends. I think that's beautiful on that end of it. How that's written. I like how songs where they end where they begin. You know, uh, selling my soul. And I'm kind of doing that right now myself. I I've been working, doing, basically, burying, fiber optic, cable, and then cable TV, and AT&T stuff. So in a way, I'm one of the bricks in that wall. I'm actually putting the infrastructure in that's going to fuck us all over in the long run. You know, I'm actually one of the people that are actually putting that infrastructure in. I'm just one of the cogs in the wheel, or cogs in the machine. And I'm doing it for a paycheck. So I'm basically selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for shit fucking pay. And I'm the low guy on the totem pole at my job. I'm just a fucking helper type of job. You know what I mean? So I get fucking the lowest, you know, I'm not even getting the $15 an hour, uh, minimum wage scenario, because the company, they don't have to do it immediately. They're just going to eventually get up there. It's like every year raise it up until eventually get to that. So, it's going to take me a while to get to that if they're, but, it doesn't matter. But I mean, damn cost of living is fucking sky high anyway, inflation and all this other bullshit tax. See, that inflation is a tax. You know what I mean? And then most people don't even know the actual what money is and what the difference between money and currency. This is another thing. That's the reason why they depend on most of our ignorance. And this is one of the things that really inspires me, and I think it probably perhaps is to inspire others also. Is his song, uh, could perhaps be an inspiration from the creator to inspire all of us, for inspiring all of us to sing that truth out and do it loud. You do it, from the deepest part of your soul, and pull it out and speak it out. I've been banging my head against this wall for about 30 years when it comes down to certain aspects. On YouTube, um, the amount of censorship, when it comes down to certain information that I've been trying to put out over the years. Um, and that truth, that genuine truth and soul, I think that's what a lot of people have been craving. And a lot of people have been force fed this idea that they're all alone. You know, they 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 tried, basically programmed everybody into believing, oh, you're all alone. You know what I mean? There's nobody like you. Don't be like that. You got to be like this. You should be like that. Hey, what's up, Tom? Anyway, let's see here. There's something else too. What was it? There is. Oh, this one right here. I can't remember. I think this one. Oh, wait a minute. I want to play that song all the way through without any breaks in it, because I didn't do that. All right, I want to do it all the way through without any breaks, so you guys can, if you haven't seen it, which I mean, honestly, if you're not paying attention to what's going on, I don't know how you didn't see it. If you are paying attention to what's going on out there, but anyway, I want to play it all the way through so you guys can enjoy it. But I've got some more stuff on this. I want to play a couple other things. Also, he put out a message. I want to put some of that out there so you can hear what he has to say. Because I think it creates a conversation. It creates dialogue. Because a lot of people, when they hear it, it makes them think about a lot of different things. And, because there ain't nothing that he ain't saying that ain't true. So, I mean, and a lot of us have been talking about a lot of this stuff, different types of subjects and stuff like that for a long time. I've been talking on CB radio. I've been doing it on YouTube. You know what I mean? I know a lot of other people are too. Even before this song came out, it was just, he was able to articulate certain aspects and put it to song. And his ability to belt that damn noise out of his fucking breath, I'm gonna tell you, it's powerful. I mean, there's certain things that really struck a nerve with me. So I thought it was. Anyway, I'll let you guys listen.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men know the rich men, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. Those are rich men, those are rich men. Wish politicians look out for miners, and not just miners on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of butt drowned. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in this world with an old soul. These rich men know the Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Want to know what you think, want to know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, because your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, cause the rich men know the rich men. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Oh, and that was on Radio WV on YouTube also. He also has his own YouTube channel under Oliver Anthony Music. But anyway, I wanted to play this one also.
It's been hurting, my back's been aching, the water's drying up and there's a hole in the making. People eating bugs cause they won't eat bacon. Doggone.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna tell you something, man. My back hurts too. But he sit there talking about like, we're on the brink of the next World War, which is, you got all this crap going on, and I don't know, man, how many people really paying attention to that, because I've been watching it. I've been observing what's been going on, and every single day, it seems like it gets just a little worse. Closer and closer to that moment of, I have a gut feeling that this is what they're probably going to try and do anyway, simply because they want to depopulate the whole fucking planet. All right, I it's got a feeling it's just going to be one of those, like, it's going to start like any other day, and then next thing you know, pow. Because I think, see, this is one thing that the elite are so frightened about this guy. That's why they were talking so much shit, like on CNN and all these other little fucking libertards, fucking trying to demonize him and stuff like that, or whatever. It's their only mechanism to fight back to what this truth is. Otherwise, I feel like with the amount of truth coming out and the more people waking up, it frightens them so bad they're probably willing to just burn everything to the fucking ground and then rule over the fucking ashes. And we can't allow that to fucking happen. We can't allow them to turn this new world liberal order bullshit, whatever fucking crap. We can't allow that either. Because it's a dystopian fucking future that I don't want for my future generations to deal with. I don't want to even deal with it in my time now. But it's hard because the system is it's actually rigged against you. You know, unless you got money, it's pretty fucked up.
Needles in the streets, folks hardly surviving on sidewalks next to highways full of cars self-driving. The poor keep hurting, the rich keep thriving. Oh.
And that's pretty fucked up too. And I've seen that also. There's people. I mean, you look at some of these big cities like in Chicago and shit like that, or even down here in Florida. I mean, you go to some of these bigger cities in Florida here. I mean, there's places, man. It's like you got people, that are just for one reason or another are homeless, and it's like they're all living next to this fucking highway, but all these electric cars or these nice fucking big ass fucking trucks or whatever, driving and all that stuff right next to them. And it's like the poor just get poorer and the rich just keep on driving. And really a lot of this bullshit is like it pisses me off when people sit there and try and like say this is what they need, the homeless need, this is what they really need, they need this and that. Honestly, if you never walked at least a fucking mile in their fucking shoes, you wouldn't know what the fuck. You wouldn't know the first thing about what they would want or need. That's how I see it.
There's a little town somewhere. Only thing you hear at night is that old mill humming. Only time traffic backs up when that old sweet North Southern train's humming. With me and the dog, on it. Just me and the dog, on it. Now people's crying about burning coal, but not the poor souls who's digging in.
Damn.
I reckon there's been many good men in the grave trying to keep all houses lit. From down in the oil field.
I mean, you think about how many people died in the fucking coal mines and shit like that just to keep people's fucking houses lit. Does anybody fucking give a shit? I mean, really. I mean, seriously, all these motherfuckers out here with fucking electric cars, where do you think that fucking electricity comes from? A lot of the times it comes from coal-fired fucking generators and and stuff. I mean, coal-fired power plants. That's where the fucking electricity to fucking get your goddamn electric car fucking down the road. I mean, I've been talking about people's, the morality and the value system and the fucking ethics and all this other bullshit that is really missing. That's why I think this at least to begin with, the Richmond from north of Richmond song is shit. I'm sorry. I fucking was reading the damn chat and it messed me up. I totally lost my train of thought. Anyway. Yeah. I'm reading you guys. I'm reading the chat, you guys. I'm sorry. Oh man. And plus, just smoked one too, you know, so I'm kind of like easy distracted. I'm actually, I think I'm gonna play that song also, but I'm gonna get to it. There's a progression in my mind that I wanted to try and actually do, and I was wanting to. What I might do um, Monday is I'm gonna try and go over Independent Mini United's channel and do some stuff there on this subject. On, for instance, some of the the points that he makes in the songs, in his message, and talk about it, and try and get up on a panel and stuff like that, and maybe even work it where I can actually go start there and move it to my main channel, Anarchy Television, and because I haven't done it over there. I was just kind of experimenting tonight on my backup channel, because I'm doing this redneck cell phone way of sharing the video with you. And I'm not even sure. I'm hoping that the sound is okay because it's coming out of a fucking Bluetooth speaker. So I'm hoping the sound's okay. Bluetooth speaker into a fucking headset. So it's all I'm working with, at the moment. I don't have like a computer to do, share videos and shit. And I don't know, maybe when I'm, hey, Indy, maybe later, I don't know, like I'll have Indy or something like that, on my other channel and on my main channel, and she can help, share videos or something like that. So it'd be better sound. But anyway, I'm just kind of doing it this way, just kind of experimenting because I felt compelled. And, but anyway, let me get back to it. Let me stop talking for a minute.
And the pipelines, and the linemen, and the coal mines. We can set it home and plug in a newfangled bullshit. And Republicans, Democrats, Lord, I swear they're all just full of crap. I ain't never seen a good city slicking bureaucrat. There's a little town somewhere. The only thing you hear at night is that old mill humming. Only time traffic backs up is when that old sweet Norfolk Southern train's running. With me and the dog, on it. Just me and the dog, on it. Lord, my head's been hurting, my back's been aching, the water's drying up and there's a war in the making. People eating bugs cause they won't eat bacon.
People all right. People eating bugs, they don't want to eat bacon. It's like that. You will owe nothing, and you will be happy just to eat bugs. Yeah, fuck all that shit, man. I'm eating bacon, and I'm gonna continue to eat bacon. I'm gonna continue to get my future generations to eat bacon too. I don't give a shit. I mean, meat, beef, whatever. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna. No, you ain't taking my hamburgers away. But anyway, I'll let you listen to this one just because I understand just the breaks in it all. You really just can't get the full, in my opinion, the full context when I pause it like that. So I'm gonna play the song all the way through on this song also, and then I want you to hear what he's got to say about some stuff. All right, you guys, bear with me.
It's been hurting, my back's been aching, The water's drying up and there's a hole in the making. People eating bugs 'cause they won't eat bacon. Doggone it. Needles in the streets, folks hardly surviving on sidewalks next to highways full of cars self-driving. The poor keep hurting, the rich keep thriving. Doggone it. There's a little town somewhere. The only thing you hear at night is that old mill humming. The only time traffic backs up is when that old sweet North Southern train's humming. With me and the dog, on it. Just me and the dog, on it. The people's crying about burning coal, but not the poor souls who's digging in. I reckon there's been many good men in the grave trying to keep all houses lit. From down in the oil fields and the pipelines and the linemen and the coal mines, so we can sit at home and plug in a newfangled bullshit.
Newfangled bullshit.
And Republicans, Democrats, Lord, I swear they're all just full of crap. I ain't never seen a good city slicking bureaucrat. There's a little town somewhere. The only thing you hear at night is that old mill humming. Only time traffic backs up is when that old sweet North Southern train's running. With me and the dog, on it. Just me and the dog, on it. Lord, my head's been hurting, my back's been aching. The water's drying up and there's a war in the making.
Damn.
People eating bugs 'cause they won't eat bacon. Doggone it.
Doggone it. Doggone it. What's up, Billy? All right. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I wish I could. I actually, man, there was one time, man, I was put in jail. I was probably, I don't know, I was young. I was probably in my early 20s or less, or something like that, in my teens or something. I can't remember what it was. But I was put in this like hole in the wall type jail. I mean, it was such a small podunk town type jail that like there was this little lady. It was like somebody's mom in town that would home cook the fucking meals for the jail. It was some of the best meals I've ever had in a jail ever. I mean, it's like home cooked. It was beautiful. That was one thing I remember. But I have to search it out. I got it somewhere. But there's this little piece of paper that I was writing while I was in jail, and it was basically like my thoughts. I was just writing it down, and it made me think about that listening to his music, because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, man, I wish I could say what I've been trying to say for so long and get it out, and people to hear it. It's like I've been trying to tell myself and others when it comes down to like putting out information and stuff like that. It's our delivery, to get people to hear it, and I mean, and listen. And this is another thing too, man, getting people to listen. I mean, and not just hear it. You know, that's another thing, because some of the stuff that I have talked about, like different things, like on just what is money, what is the government, and which is basically a corporation posing as a government, all this, and our freedoms, what is ordained by God, not our government, you know, all this other shit. Some of this stuff just goes over people's heads. I mean, seriously, I've talked about some of that stuff, and people look at me like, some people look at me like I'm fucking crazy. They look at me like with deer in headlights type of shit. It's pretty messed up. I mean, and I've said this, I've probably told this story to other people, and I've said it on YouTube also. But I remember there was this one time, I got a buddy of mine that I talk to on the CB radio all the time, and he doesn't live that far away from me and all that stuff, whatever. But I was doing a bunch of research on a lot of shit, and I was coming up with some stuff, man. I was like really crazy stuff that was true, but it did sound kind of crazy. But I started telling him about it. He thought I was fucking loony bin, wackadoo, whatever. Come to find out, like 4 years later, something like that, 4 or 5 years later, they were talking about it on like Fox News and all this other shit. And he's like, "Man, Wingnut, man, you were right about that stuff." And I was like, "Well, no shit, I was fucking right about it." You know, it's just not credible coming out of my mouth. You only find it credible when it hits fucking Fox News. That actually kind of pissed me off. I'm just like, open your eyes, man. And you got to wonder why they've been keeping it away from you, that knowledge of this fucking shit. And then they all of a sudden reveal it to you on mainstream media. You gotta make you wonder, because timing is everything, and they know exactly how to do all that crap. They precisely time certain information to get leaked out or whatever. Anyway, it's a big deal. Mayberry Jail. Well, it was a real small podunk town, and I was actually the only one in the jail at the time. It was nice because I was alone, but uh, and the food was great, but it was a sucky situation. But anyway, I want you guys to listen. Um, I want you guys to listen to Christopher. He goes, or people know him as Oliver Anthony, but his real first name is Christopher. I want you to listen to him because it's interesting what he's got to say, because he's the artist that wrote and created this artwork that is struck a nerve with so many people worldwide. I mean, this is not just an American thing. And it's not just a black or white thing or whatever. It's a fucking worldwide human thing. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, just listen to him.
Well, hey there. It's August 25th, 2023. A lot's changed since the last time I sat here and spoke to you. My friends and family have asked me how I'm doing. Everybody is wondering if I've lost my sanity yet, and I'm surprisingly calm and at peace. I don't even know what to say, but I feel thankful to be given this opportunity. The music side is exciting, and all the Billboard, iTunes charts, and all that crap. That's great. But,
all that crap.
The exciting part's been the conversations I've had with people.
It is crap.
And the things I've learned just in a couple of weeks about the human spirit, and about all sorts of other things, the music industry, and and how dirty everything is. Like, it's worse than you think. So I don't know what the future looks like for me. I'm not really too concerned about the future. I'm living in the present, and
Amen.
I just have to have the discernment to make the right decisions from here on out. Because I think about that guy who was sitting here a few weeks ago talking to you, and the most important thing to me is not leaving him behind.
Amen. I agree. Never leave him
I don't
behind.
want to go on some roller coaster ride and come off a different person. If there is anything for me to address at all with you, it's that it's the one thing that has bothered me is seeing people wrap politics up into this. I'm disappointed to see, like, it's aggravating seeing people on conservative news try to identify with me like I'm one of them. It's aggravating seeing certain musicians and politicians act like we're buddies and act like we're fighting the same struggle here, like that we're trying to present the same message. I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and I tried to be polite to everybody, and I've talked to hundreds of people the last 2 weeks. It seems like certain people want to just ride the attention of the song to maybe make them their own selves relevant, and that's aggravating as hell. The other thing that I find aggravating is, like, it was funny seeing my song in the. It was funny seeing it at the presidential debate, because It's like I wrote that song about those people,
right?
So for them to have to sit there and listen to that,
right?
That cracks me up.
It was funny.
But it was funny kind of seeing the response to it. Like, that song has nothing to do with Joe Biden, It's a lot bigger than Joe Biden.
So much bigger.
That song's written about the people on that stage, and a lot more too, not just them, but definitely them.
Right.
It's cool seeing some of my other music come out, because people are, I guess, starting to appreciate and understand what it is I'm really trying to say. It's hard to get a message out about your political ideology or your belief about the world in 3 minutes and some change.
Yeah, no shit.
But I do hate to see that song being weaponized. Like, I see the right trying to characterize me as one of their own, and I see the left trying to discredit me, I guess in retaliation. That shit's got to stop. If you watch the response videos on YouTube to the song, it's not conservative people responding to the song. It's not even necessarily Americans responding to the song. I don't know that I've seen anything get such positive response from such a diverse group of people.
True.
And I think that terrifies the people that I sing about in that song.
I agree.
And they've done everything they can the last 2 weeks to make me look like a fool, to spin my words, to try to stick me in a political bucket. And they can keep trying, but I'm just going to keep on writing.
That's right.
And I've got a lot of words to put down on paper, and I've got a lot of songs to put to chords, and I don't know what my music career is going to look like. I don't know how many shows I'm going to do and how many tours I'm going to put on, but I am going to stay true to my word. I'm going to write, produce, and distribute authentic music that represents people and not politics.
Amen.
I do feel compelled to address something. Since I have addressed the conservatives, I do need to address the left as well, because they're sending a message out that initial song that sort of shot me up the radar, Richmond, north of Richmond, is an attack against the poor. If you listen to my other music, it's obvious that all of my songs that reference class defend the poor. Doggone, it's a good example of that.
That's what we were just
Needles in the
listening to.
street, folks hardly surviving on sidewalks next to highways full of cars self-driving. The poor keep hurting and the rich keep thriving.
Right.
It's like, that's what I like to sing about. And, you know, the English language is interpretive. And so I do understand, like, there may be some people who misunderstood my words in Richmond, north of Richmond. But I've got to be clear that my message, like with any of my songs, it references the inefficiencies of the government because of the politicians within it that are engulfed in bribes and extortion. And,
Yep.
you know, the words say that there's people on the street with nothing to eat and the obese milking welfare. That references a news article I read earlier this summer that adolescent kids in Richmond are missing meals over the summer because their parents can't afford to feed them and they're not in school to eat cafeteria lunch. And meanwhile, I think like 30 or 40% of the food bought with welfare or EBT money is in a classification of like snack food and soda. I think 10% spent on soda, and I want to say like 20 or 30% spent on junk food. And that's not the fault of those people. Welfare only makes up a small percentage of our budget. You know, we can fuel a proxy war in a foreign land, but we can't take care of our own. That's all the song's trying to say. It's just saying that the government takes people who are needy dependent and makes them needy independent.
Yep. Takes needy independent, makes them.
And at some point, I will dissect all my lyrics of all my songs if that's what I need to do. I mean, 30-some million people understood what I was saying, but it only takes a few to try to derail the train, you know, to try to send out false narratives. And I'm sure there'll be more of that to come. It's like, it's driving people crazy to see the unity that's come from this, from all walks. This isn't a Republican and Democrat thing. This isn't even a United States thing. Like, this has been a global response. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Go on YouTube and watch all the response videos, you know? And don't shoot the messenger. Like, I'm a nobody. It's my belief that divine intervention has put me in this position in this point in time to get a message across, and that's all there is to it. Like, I'm nobody special. You know, I think so too. I feel terrible almost that I've been put in this place, because there are a lot of artists and musicians out there that are far more talented, that have put in way more hours than me. Like, I don't deserve to sit in the top 5 places on the iTunes charts.
That's very
And the
humble.
truth is, I really could give a shit less about the iTunes charts.
Thank you.
What I care about is connecting with people. What I care about is.
Thank you.
I don't know what this country is going to look like in 10 or 20 years if things don't change. I don't know what this world's going to look like. And like, something has to be done about it, you know?
Yeah.
There's been too many people die. There's been too many people sacrifice everything they've had. People die before they're even 18, you know?
Very true.
Just for us to all sit here and just do the stupid shit it is that we do every day that keeps us all beat down and divided. Like, that's what I want to see stop. And I'm going to do everything I can to influence that at all costs, even if it does throw my world upside down. It's well worth it. But for now, I'm hanging in there, and I'm doing what I can. And I really appreciate everybody who's along for the ride. So there's a lot more to come, and I'm excited for it. And I'll see you on the next one.
All right. Yeah, I'm doing a damn fucking microphone. Anyway, I can appreciate this man, you know, being so humble. You know, he turned down an $8 million record deal, which is the smartest thing he did. Because quite honestly, man, uh, he can triple that money in no time flat. Hell, you just think about how much money he could make off of just the views on YouTube. Um, you know, and that's a little bit of chunk of change. Virginia, how you doing, sweetheart? Um, and so honestly, $8 million wasn't anywhere near enough, and to sell his soul to a damn record label where they would basically have full control over his creative fucking whatever, you know. So I think it's the smartest move for him to do when it comes down to it is to be, the one that produces it, distributes it, writes it, and everything all himself. I mean, that'd be the smartest thing to do. That'd be the most profitable if the money was the thing. But that's another thing too that the money is not the goal in what this man is trying to do or what he was trying to do. He's just trying to um, release the truth that is in his frustrations of everyday life, which all of us go through. I mean, like I said, I mean, I wish I could articulate in the same kind of way that he does about certain things. Um, and I'm not a singer. I'm not if anything, man, um, I'd have to like, I used to make music, but I used to use a lot of samples of dialogue to kind of like for the lyrics. But if I did anything with my own voice, it would probably be more like a spoken word type of thing put to music, But um, there's, I've had a lot of stuff to say over the years, and I still feel compelled that I have more to say. It's just how to reach, you know, people out there. Because honestly, man, I know there's a lot of people out there that are awake, and I have to say this to everybody out there that might be listening or even watching the review of all this stuff. You're not alone, dude. You're not you're not the only one out there. You know, you might think that you might be alone. You might think that nobody else can relate or whatever. Da, 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 da. You're fucking wrong. There's millions of people all over this fucking planet that have gone through or going through the same fucking shit. And you're not alone. And I'm here to tell you, you're not alone. Anyway, I've got one more that I want to kind of like dissect and play for you. It's the newest one that he just put out. I don't know, on social media and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm gonna do this like I did the other ones. The first time around, I'm probably gonna pause it a couple of times through the song, and because there's certain things that that I've got something to say about my reaction, my basically my whatever. And then after that, I'll play it all the way through so you guys can get the full context of the song because it's a beautiful song. I mean, honestly, all of his music actually is good. Like I said, I grew up with heavy metal and punk bands, so I mean, I actually can appreciate, and this is one thing that is so missing from music today, is that soul, is that heart, that's you know, that you can feel it, that gives you goosebumps, dude. I'm serious. You would not believe how many people that watch some of his listen to some of his music and they get goosebumps. I just find that interesting. You know, if a song, if those words, those tones, those frequencies, those sounds hit you to a point where it gives you goosebumps. It's almost like, and it's, I mean, I have to say it, it's almost like it's divine intervention, if you want to call it that. It's definitely something that's moving through his soul out, and it's to hit yours, and you know, and just give it a little twitch. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it might be, there's some people out there, like I say this right here, like for instance, you know, I've heard people say this right here: protect him, man, at all costs. Um, I've heard other people say this, and I appreciate the sentiment because I think that's awesome. Because I mean, but the thing is, it's like you got to remember, good intentions. I mean, the road to hell is paved by good intentions. So it's. I mean, I understand people feel like they have to protect the man, but you know, um, when it comes down to it, I think that was one of the things in one of his. Actually, it's probably in this song. Um, People aren't praying anymore. You know what I mean? A lot of people have lost touch with the Creator, and are not in harmony um, with the Creator anymore. You know, the morality. It's like the morals are shit, and people's values. It's but I think that's done by design anyway, because oh, you think about what even like in the modern crap, what they're trying to teach our children, and this is what our children are going to end up. You think about, this is all done by design. How we were brought up, what we were, the value system, the morality and stuff that we're brought up through our lives, and that keeps on getting jammed down our throat every single day. you know this is all done by design, and this is the product, the what is what seeds were sown is now, this is the fruit of that fucking labor. It's what our society is today. And I think, and honestly, man, we got to take a more active approach to this, because these evil psychopaths aren't going to stop until they fucking, you know, kill us all off, kill us or whatever. And I can't even talk right, but or they do that, or they have they've tightened the grip so much where we really have no room to go do anything. Because they're talking about these like damn 15-minute crap cities and shit. Hell, I look at these apartment complexes and stuff like that, and that's like a 15-minute city right there all on its own. It's like it's you know uh, these psychopaths, they want to control everything. Like he says in that one song, it's like they want to know what you think. They want to know what you do. They think that you don't know, but he's like saying, I know that you do. you know because I know a lot of people out there. I know that you guys figure it out too. I mean, shoot, you talk, the reaction videos, like he was saying, and I've actually had like like a moment, and for a couple of days where I was like on a binge watching, and it's amazing, that that little nod to the Epstein thing, how many people, young generation, I mean, the young kids out there, like in their 20s and stuff, got that. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, wow, they got that shit. They got, it didn't, there's some people that it went over their head. You know what I mean? You can see it in the reactions of them listening to that, but there was a lot of people and the young people that actually got that reference, for instance, and which is interesting. And how many people out there that actually got to the point where some of these songs actually got them so emotional. Like this one I'm going to play you right here. This one gets kind of emotional. So I'm warning you, for anybody that's not really familiar with him so far. A lot of his songs really kind of get you in the feels, you know what I'm saying? So I'm warning you, kind of a little late, but I'm kind of warning you now. But I mean, some of these get you a little bit on the feels, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, he touches on some subjects, man, that really is sad, and it's so true. And that's one of the other reasons why it's so fucking sad. And I mean, there's moments like on um, some of these lyrics, I just start thinking about some of that stuff, man, and I get teary. You know, I can't help it because I'm just like I've been through and I've gone through or I'm going through a lot of that same shit, and it's just sad but true. Anyway, this one is his most recent. This one is called "I Want to Go Home." Like I said, I'm gonna probably pause this one a couple of times through the song, but we'll play it all the way through it afterwards.
Well, if it wasn't for my old dogs and the good Lord, they'd have me strung up in the psych ward. 'Cause every day living in this new world, one too many days to me. Son, we're on the brink of the next world war, and I don't think nobody's praying no more, and I ain't saying I know it for sure. I'm just down on my knees, begging the Lord to take me home.
Yep. You know, it's like I mean, I've got three dogs myself, and it's kind of he's got three dogs sitting around him. I've got three dogs myself. I'm single, so I mean, it's just me and my dogs, and he's like, if it wasn't for my dogs and the Lord, they'd probably strap me up in a psych ward, And I'm serious. There's people out there think I'm fucking crazy, but they haven't taken the time to actually think about what I've said, or they haven't done the research, or whatever, blah blah blah, whatever. But and we are on the brink of a fucking next world war, and and I don't think people are praying no more, or at least a lot of people aren't praying no more. You know what I mean? Um, and I mean, I personally, I'm not afraid of dying, but I don't want to die because I enjoy living. Even though I have to deal with all this fucking bullshit every fucking day like everybody else does, it's just like, but I enjoy life. But, on like what he's saying, I just want to go home. And this is just in the first few seconds of the song, you know, he's asking, Lord, I was like, you know, I've had it. I've had enough. Just take me now. I mean, it's not like I don't think he was in a situation where he felt like suicide might have been an option, but some people actually do think that's an option. There's been a lot of people that, like even veterans, that just can't cope. I mean, I had a guy one time, man. He was in Vietnam for I think 2 tours. Well, anyway, when he got out, um, he was basically classified all this like managed pressure, blah blah blah, blah whatever. All this. He really didn't have any physical um, damage to him. It was all in his head. And he explained it to me one time. It's like this right here. It's like this cup right here. All right. You see that red stuff in there? That's your emotional baggage. All right. And when those young kids got drafted into the military, or they go into the military, some of those kids, some of those kids had about that much in their cup when they got into the military. All right, and they just before they got into war. Now, by the time they get out, some of those kids were still able to cope mentally, because there was enough room in their cup to hold all that emotional baggage, so it didn't overflow. Now, some of the kids that actually went in, they started with the level like right up here somewhere, with all that red stuff is all the way up to here, so they're almost to the top of that cup with emotional baggage. So by the time they get out, that emotional baggage is spilling over and spilling out. That's when they become nuts and crazy and shit. All right. And this man he can't you know really do anything in normal, I guess, what do you call it, normal society, because he still has hallucinations of people in black pajamas, sneaking out of the damn hills at him and stuff, to come kill him, like the Viet Cong used to do. And he can't work a regular job. He freaks out. He goes into those manic stages and starts whatever hallucinating, whatever. Some people out there that can't cope with that kind of shit. I mean, and the VA doesn't do shit, man. The VA really doesn't help you out, man. I know people that, man, the VA hasn't done shit for them. There's homeless veterans out there that got no help right now, and these people are they if you believe in these fucking bullshit fucking wars that are actually just bankers wars, they're not really protecting our fucking country. They're not really protecting the people in this country. They're not protecting our God-given rights of the Constitution. They're not doing any of that shit. I mean, really, how is that actually protecting any of that shit going over in another country, shooting a bunch of brown people and shit? I mean, really, what does that fucking do? And that's what pisses off some of these fucking military guys, because they go in with good intentions. For instance, they go in with this idea that I'm doing this for my country and blah, 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 blah. And by the time they get out, they realize what the fuck they were doing out there. And they were like, what the fuck were we doing out there? And they start questioning their whole goddamn career in the military. And there's sometimes, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. When you're ordered to basically just go against your own morality, your own values, and do things that that are not really right, but you're ordered to it. You're ordered to do it. That's what I'm saying about the like the government scenario. I mean, all these fucking politicians, bureaucrats, and all that shit. All these fancy words they write down on a fancy piece of paper, calling it fucking law or whatever they want to call it, statutes, codes, policies, rules, regulations, whatever. Doesn't mean shit if there's no one out there that is willing to comply, and there's no one out there willing to enforce this bullshit. Because I mean, it's not only the general public of, that's out here that the minds need to be awakened. It's also the ones that are in the system. The cops, the military, the fucking, everybody. Everybody's minds need to be awakened from the matrix. Unfortunately, there are people out there that really want to stay in the matrix, and they want the matrix to be right where it's at, and they want it to, because they're benefiting from it. They're profiting off of a lot of people's fucking misfortune and sorrow and shit. It's kind of like that fucking bullshit out there in the Hawaiian Islands, man. I mean, that's one way of fucking acquiring a bunch of land. You just burn out the fucking residents and then just take it from them. Don't you think? Anyway, let's get back to this, because I mean, I can talk for a while, and I'm trying to keep up with the chat, you guys. I'm not ignoring you.
I wanna go home. I don't know which road to go. Been so long. I just know I didn't used to wake up feeling this way, cussing myself every damn day. There's always some kind of bill to pay. People just doing what the rich man say. I wanna go home.
Fuck that. Fuck what the rich man says.
Four generations farming the ground. Grandson sells it to a man out of town. And 2 weeks later, trees go down. Only got concrete growing around. I wanna go home.
All right. So, 4 generations plowing the ground. Grandson sells it off to a man from out of town. 2 weeks left. Trees are coming down, and there's nothing but concrete left on the ground. And that actually kind of strikes home with me personally right there. All right, because I don't. There's a few people out there that kind of know my personal situation when it comes down to where I live. And just to throw that out there, and for people out there that are listening that don't. But this property that I'm sitting on is actually a piece of a property. It's my dad's piece, but it's a piece of a bigger piece of property that's been divided out because, all right, it started probably about three or four granddaddies back. He acquired a bunch of this land that I'm, like part of it is what I'm sitting on now, and the plan was, from what I understand, talking to family, was to begin with. This was his plan, was to plant, pine trees. All right. And when he plants those pine trees in about 30 or 40 years, that next generation, like his kids, will be able to timber the property, make a little bit of money off the timber, replant it for the next generation to come. And it's been going that way up until my granddad. All right. And there used to be a lot more property, actually. It's just that over the years, a lot of it's been being sold off. when my granddad, before he died, the property was still had pine trees on it. You know, it was ready to be timbered. All right, which it was his turn basically. But he timbered everything, sold everything, sold the timber off for to pay off a bunch of medical bills, and not too long after that, he ended up dying anyway. Nothing ever got replanted. The land ended up being get divided between all his kids, like my uncle, my dad, and my uncles, my aunt, my all, bunch, bunch of them, bunch of his kids, and and now my uncles and my dad all just want to sell off the property. And right now, I'm living on my dad's piece. See, I live here by myself. My dad don't live here. He lives somewhere else. But I live on a little piece of that he's got. But I have nowhere really to go. I don't really. I mean, shit. The price of fucking property now, and places, whatever. It's like I got. There's certain things. My mom lives in close by, and I don't want to go too far away from her. I want to stay out here in the woods where I'm at, because I have no desire to be in town. Um, so it's kind of put me in a bad position, because what is probably going to happen, and it's out of my control, because it's not my property. It's my dad's property and my uncle's property. If they can do whatever the fuck they want with it, because it's their shit. But it kind of puts me in a bad position, kind of like, I guess I'm being kind of selfish, I guess, on that end of it. But still, I got nowhere to go. Basically, if I was told that I had to leave now, tomorrow, for instance, um, I would have to leave a bunch of shit behind and just live out of my fucking car. And I'm not really wanting to do that too much. You know what I mean? And what will probably end up happening is my uncle and my dad and all them, they're going to get together and sell all this fucking property all at one time, make a chunk of change before they die. And this property gets subdivided out, and a bunch of fucking homes will be put on it. So when he's saying, it's like, grandson sold the property to some guy from out of town, 2 weeks later the fucking trees come down, and then everything's covered with fucking concrete on the ground. I see it all the time down here, and where I'm actually working doing this damn fiber optic stuff. They're building this huge, like, retirement city, basically. And this was all fucking woods, all fucking just wooded fucking area for a lot of years, as long as I can remember. Never was touched. And now it's all being fucking cleared out and fucking put all these shitty ass fucking homes on it, for a bunch of 65 and older, whatever. It's see that, right? Like I said, that just kind of hits like more of a personal, because it's, he's speaking truth, and he's he's just singing a story about a situation that could happen to anybody, and it's possibly going to happen to me pretty soon if they turn around and fucking close on this fucking property or whatever, and I have to fucking leave, which kind of sucks, because I mean, I like I said, I got nowhere to go. I really don't really have any. I don't really have any desire to go anywhere else. I've kind of got a sentimental value to this property, because it's been in our family for so long, and I didn't grow up here, but I used to come here a lot as growing up, and I've been living here on this property for about 12 years now, and I love it out here. Um, and it makes me sad to see that some of these small rural areas are being fucking developed up with fucking housing developments and fucking subdivisions and apartment complexes and stupid shopping malls and fucking dollar stores. And I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to this.
I wanna go home. I don't know which road to go. Been so long. I just know I didn't used to wake up feeling this way. Cussing myself every damn day. People have really gone and lost their way. They all just do what the TV say. I wanna go home.
People have lost their way, and they do just do what the fucking TV say. That's gotta fucking change. That's gotta change.
If it weren't for my old dogs and the good Lord, they'd have me strung up in the psych ward.
Oliver Anthony. It's amazing. And like I said, I mean, I cannot think of the last time music has really hit me in a certain way. You know what I mean? I mean, there was a time, man. I mean, I actually felt um, I can feel his sadness. He was, I mean, you know, the um, the message, the words, the tone, how he just belts that damn voice out. I can hear and feel the sadness coming from him. I mean, because I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I've been through and seen and or even going through or whatever that I know exactly what that feels like. You know, I know exactly what that sadness feels like. And I've been saying this even before he even fucking this became a thing. I've been saying this for a long time. That's all we need because you think about it. Like if you want to believe that that old history book that it only took 1/3 of the population of this country to really fight off the most powerful tyrannical fucking military at that time and declare independence from that fucking asshole the king. You know, can you imagine what just 1/3 of the population of the entire fucking planet could do to the most tyrannical of this fucking time? If we can just get people awake and singing the same fucking song, you know, on the same page, singing the same hymn, you know, I'm actually, I've actually heard people say that this could be, you know, like the new battle cry or the new anthem or whatever for a revolution, which I mean, okay, but and I hope I'm wrong about this, but I think we'll probably be too damn distracted with a fucking civil war before we can even get to a fucking revolution, quote unquote. Because I mean, honestly, I don't even know if I want a revolution simply because A revolution is like a 360. It goes in a complete circle. It's like you end up right where you started. I don't want that. I want to evolve past this bullshit that we've had for centuries of this master slave mentality. We need to abolish that completely from the fucking planet. That's the only way we, the people on this fucking planet, will ever be free. Literally. It's the only way we can be free if we can abolish all this fucking tyranny. I've been wanting to do something about this for the past few days. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I think, and see, I was going to get Indy to help me out with sharing the videos, on my main channel and stuff. I was probably going to try and do that Monday, but I don't know. I might do the same thing the same way I did this over on my main channel also, over on Anarchy Television. Um, but because I just feel compelled to talk about it. And actually, I want to get people up. I want to get people up on the panel because I want to have a conversation and to talk about it. Michelle, what's happening? Because, I mean, all those points and stuff that I was actually pointing out during the song itself, those are conversations all in their own. Each one of those moments, are basically a conversation all in its own. And I think that is the other thing that I've been striving for, is to actually have the conversation, have the dialogue, because all this fucking bullshit, he said, she said, fucking bullshit is a distraction. It doesn't do any good. There's no benefit from it. We need to start concentrating on what really matters, what really is the root of our, the main problems are, so we can actually create solutions, because this sitting around bitching about things and stuff doesn't get us anywhere. It really doesn't. And it bothers me that so many people out there in the world are so distracted by this, you know. It's the wool, covering your eyes so you don't see the fucking truth, you know. It's much more interesting to sit there and watch a fucking soap opera than it is to fucking actually talk about reality and real things, and that's unfortunate, it's like it's what it was like. What was it? I can't remember who said it, but it's like you give the people bread in circuses and they will never revolt. You keep on, giving them entertainment, and give them a little bit of this and that and all that stuff to kind of just bunch all these things. You keep giving them these things and they become dependent on that, and then they can't revolt because they're dependent on all this fucking handout shit. Like he was saying also, is like, it takes the weak and the needy. The government takes the weak and the needy and makes them weak and needy, and continues that cycle on, because technically what all governments through history all around the world, their main goal is the continuity of government. And the main way to keep continuity of government is to have everybody either dependent on it or working for it. That's the two classes that I was talking about: the ones that are willing to comply and the ones that are willing to enforce it. There's too many people that have been lulled to sleep in this cognitive dissonance, this state of Stockholm syndrome, and they need to break out of this bullshit. You know, too many people around this fucking world have been force fed this ideal in their head for generations, and they think that is the only way. Well, that's not true. That's bullshit. There's always another way. There's always another way. You just gotta think outside the fucking box that they've created around you. This fucking Truman Show bullshit that they've tried to fucking keep you in. But anyway, much love to all you guys out there in YouTube land. Even the fucking porn bombing motherfuckers out there and the haters and the shit that's out there. Yeah, whatever. Much love to all y'all motherfuckers out there. But anyway, like I said, I'm probably gonna try this again. The redneck way of doing it. Um, when it comes down to sharing this stuff, because I think this is important. Um, not only for just music, artwork, and all that stuff, it's just also just to, you know, to get the truth out. Because honestly, man, I think there's a lot of people around this world that are craving and the truth. They they're sick and tired of this bullshit fucking Barbie doll plastic fake fiction bullshit. They're tired of it. A lot of people are fucking sick and tired of being sick and tired. A lot of people are saying it's enough is fucking enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you're not alone. So don't think you're alone. We might we're very united. You have to remember we're very united. Almost everybody out here is very united. The only problem is we're just divided geographically. I mean, it would be one thing if we all lived in the same damn town, but we don't. We're just spread out. That's why you feel like you're alone, because you don't have like all of us, all in one town hanging out. No, we just happen to be spread out all over the fucking planet. But there's millions of us out there. And quite honestly, I know damn well that we outnumber those fucking psychopaths that want to be our masters and our rulers. We outnumber these fuckers. You know, if there's no one willing to comply and no one willing to enforce it, they can't do shit about it. You know, it's like these politicians that are calling from gun control and shit like that, and all these fucking like, maybe even the option of going door to door. If there's nobody willing to comply and nobody willing to enforce it, you ain't gonna see these fucking politicians, the bureaucrats going to your fucking door to take your guns. Yeah, they get their shot. Fuck that bullshit. Anyway, listen, like I said, I love you guys. I appreciate all you guys coming in. Um, so look forward, probably tomorrow or something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna get a wild hair up my ass and fucking do it over my on my other channel. So if you guys want to watch it watch it again, or my other rant on this whole scenario, on my own reaction or whatever, um, come over and hang out. And also, when I do it next time, I'm gonna put the link in because I want to get a couple people on the panel. Virginia, if you're around when I do it on my main channel, on our Anarchy Television channel, if you're around, dude, I would love to have you up on panel so we can have a talk about this. You know what I mean? I think you would be a good one to talk to about it. There's a couple other people, man, I would love to get their opinions on also, if I can get them around. So you guys, you have a good morning, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. This is Wingnut Radio out here for Anarchy TV. Back out.